And we must stop the glorification of violence in our society. This includes the gruesome and grisly video games that are now commonplace.
President Trump hosted a meeting with video game makers and their critics at the White House today. He was busy.
Great. Are you playing about video games again? You're gonna wind up on the 6 o'clock.
The video games, the movies, the internet stuff is so violent. So incredible. I see it. I get to see things that you wouldn't be amazed at. I have a very young son who I look at some of the things he's watching and I say, how is that possible?
Evil grows in the dark.
They're trying to brainwash you into thinking video games are safe.
Never shine.
You know, we've looked into this for many, many years because people have been saying this for about 20 years. Since video games started having gore and blood in the 90s, people have been saying, well, what's that going to do to the young people who are playing this? But you know what?
It's part of you, and now it seems to be that every time I look at you, evil grows in me.
Yo, what's up? For this project we are answering the question on every middle-aged mother's mind. Do video games cause violence? Long story short, no, but there's more to it than you think. So let's begin, or press start, if you will. 2020 has been quite a garbage time so far, so let's wind the clocks back to 1976, when a little arcade game called Death Race was released in public arcades. Being easy for children to play at any time, the National Safety Council panicked thinking it would make children more violent even though the game used harmless little pixels. In the 90s the first Mortal Kombat game was released, a game series which I am a fan of myself. This is one of the more controversial games having gore and blood in them. Democratic Senator Joe Lieberman said the game, and I quote, made children enjoy inflicting the most gruesome forms of cruelty, although the target demographic for this game was for 18-year-olds.
Finish him! Scorpion, win. Flawless victory. Fatality.
GTA 5 is not only the most controversial game, but one of the most controversial things in existence. That's honestly kinda sad. But anyway, the game included blood, torture, murder, mugging and possibly racist cops. Being the fastest product piece of media ever, it was bound to stir up controversy. The media would continue to blame video games for causing violent crimes. However, if they did their research, they would have discovered that as video game sales rose up, violent crimes actually dropped. Despite the fact the media didn't research it, many studies have discovered that school shooters have had low amounts of exposure towards video games and other media in general. Despite all the evidence, some studies have discovered that games can cause a small increase in violent thoughts. However, some of these studies haven't proven to be the most accurate. Przybylewski and Damp, Weinstein February 2019 found with their research at the Oxford Internet Institute that there was no relationship between aggressive behavior in teenagers and the amount of exposure and time playing on video games. The findings were published in the Royal Society Open Science www. Roy also publishing.org. The University of York in 2018 with a series of experiments on over 3,000 participants also found no evidence to support the theory that video games makes players more violent. They looked at all areas including reaction time, realism, combat games but also recognized the need for further work. In 2019, 1 year before the worst year in existence, the year to cause sadness in millions, the year to cause destruction in communities, the year everyone will identify as not only the worst year, but the worst decade, 2020. Years from now I will remember everything that happened when I hear that damn number. I will remember how much was lost in such little time. I will remember the riots caused by police brutality in America. I will remember the coronavirus and how much insanity it caused. All that happened can break someone, but I'm not broken. Why? Because I go through this for breakfast. Every morning I wake up and drink the venom of a cobra snake. I fought an Australian alligator when I was young. I wrestled a bear in Russia at the age of 9. I punched a shark in the face in Spain. I infiltrated a military base in Sokovia. But I'm still here. Cause I'm the strongest there is. If anyone wants to attempt to put me down, I invite them to try. Sorry, I went off topic there. Anyway, in 2019 after a school shooting, Donald Trump stated that video games were the cause after it was reported that the shooters played video games. But here's the funny part, the shooter's favorite game he would play for 10 hours a day was Dance Dance Revolution. From looking at lots of research and arguments about the topic and taking my own views and experiences into consideration, I believe that video games and violence are not linked. I find that video games actually provide a form of escapism and can allow players to unwind and de-stress by absorbing an alternative reality for a period of time in between the everyday stresses of modern life. With the release of the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox 2, it's inevitable that there'll be more controversy. The media will always hate video games, but I'll always love them. So anyway, I'ma go play some Overwatch. Bye.